Hello.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
We'd like to welcome you to the business session of the Planning Commission for July 5th, 2023. My name is Dan Mills. I'm the Vice Chair, and we are grateful to have a couple of our commissioners on Zoom. Looks like we have Commissioner Chappell and Ebler both connected. And just to double check, can you both hear me?
I can hear you.
I can also hear you.
Okay, fantastic. First of all, are there any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest that we have to disclose among any of the commissioners?
No.
Okay, fantastic. We have a very, very short agenda today. First of all, we will take general public comment. So for this section, it's an opportunity for members of the public to speak on any topic that they would like for 3 minutes. And we'll ask you to, we don't have any comment cards. And so I'm assuming that we have 4 people in the gallery here, and we'd love to hear from any of you if you would like to share anything you would like. Normally, if we have an agenda, we would wait until we hit that agenda item for you to have an opportunity to speak. But we just have one agenda item related to Planning Commission chair elections. So that and that would be the only topic that we would not necessarily take public comment on. But beyond that, 3 minutes, and I will stop you at 3 minutes. So with that, we ask you if you would like to come to the microphone, and you can state your name and share your comment with us.
About and for the public safety, the kids crossing the streets. And I know that on the agenda, there's one that they want to put in on 35th East and Bengal Boulevard. And what I studied about roundabouts or traffic circles is that the only way it makes it moderately safe for pedestrians is because the traffic is supposed to slow down. And then it's up to the pedestrian to sort of skirt around the cars. I've lived in Europe. I've been around roundabouts a lot. And I don't find them that incredibly safe for pedestrians. I was surprised when they put it by the high school. And on 35th East, right on Bengal, there's a lot of autistic kids in that neighborhood. A lot of elderly people live there. They're walking their dog. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. In the next work session, I'd like to talk more about, I know that it has to do with idling and the sustainability. And I think on the top of the list for its sustainability should be, sorry, you guys have allergies. I'm sorry, I'm like crying here. It should be the well-being of the citizens, not just how much are we idling, especially since cars aren't really that top of the list of air pollution problems these days. So I'd just like to have it more of the top of the conversation about pedestrian safety, kid safety, and the roundabout.
Thank you for your comment. Can you tell us your name just for the record? And I know your name. I was going to try to make you say it in the microphone, Audrey. So Audrey Pines, you got that? Okay. We always appreciate your comments, Audrey.
Good evening. My name is Dave Clark. I'm the president of the Homeowners Association of the Old Mill Estates. And first, I'd like to offer some congratulations and gratitude for the amount of work the city's done to help not only the traffic, but also pedestrian. We have a pedestrian walkway near the river off of the Cottonwood Canyon Road that's recently been being renovated, and our group, there's 88 homes in our subdivision. And that's been a big topic in our meetings and in our annual meetings. So thank you for that. I was very glad I made it back to town today to get to the work session because the projected list of projects for transportation and the transportation master plan are very interesting to me because obviously our area, a lot of our community is very active and I hear over and over again that when people go for a walk their dog, even go for a bike ride, they'll comment about going on the loop, which the loop is up Big Cottonwood Canyon Road, down Fort Union Boulevard to 30th East, down 30th East back to Big Cottonwood Canyon Road, and then to our subdivision again. Great 3-mile walk. I was a little disappointed to see on the projected time frame that the Fort Union Boulevard 30th East to Wasatch Boulevard made the 2.1 phase 2. I was really hoping that would be the 1.6 phase 1 because that section of road is frankly fairly dangerous, and it'd be nice to see some improvements for the accessibility for that area done a little sooner than 2033. And given the fact that there's additional growth up in Tavachi, and I think the traffic is going to be increasing in that area. So I would like some to have the commission consider looking into maybe moving that up and causing those improvements to be completed in a more timely manner to help our community.
And Dave, you're representing your community, so that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, staff, that means 5 minutes, so we can.
So
give
now
you
I get
another
to
two.
expound for 2 more.
If you have more to say, you're welcome.
No, I appreciate that because as I mentioned, it is a very hot topic for our community, and I think we would really appreciate consideration for moving those improvements up, and especially given the fact that we came to the meetings to hear and approve the triplex on Fort Union, and there's already a master plan in place. And I was very happy to hear that the developers for that triplex on the south side of the road were going to be encouraged, maybe even compelled, to make the frontage of their project conform to the master plan of that, and hopefully expedite that. And perhaps there will be other developments coming up that will do the same thing. But gosh, a trailway for the loop would be a terrific improvement. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others for public comment? We will close general public comment at this time and move to our one item of business. And that is the Planning Commission will hold an internal election to select a new Planning Commission chairperson and vice chairperson. So,
Can I make a motion?
yes, please.
If acceptable to the my fellow commissioners, and if the commissioners are willing to serve, I'd like to make a motion to elect Commissioner Mills as chair and Commissioner Anderson as vice chair.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor.
I would like to second that motion.
And we have a motion, a second, so it's up for discussion. And I would also just offer, if there are others that have interest, we can make this a little less formal. If there are others that have interest in running for chair at this time, this would be a good chance to express it. I don't want this to appear to be like a foregone conclusion necessarily.
I have no interest in running for chair or vice chair, but I don't know you that well, Dan, and would like to hear what your what your philosophies are, what your attitudes are about our community, and what you'd like to see. And I don't know if we're supposed to, take a couple of minutes to express those ideas or not, but I'd like to hear that.
I think we can get a little informal here, and I mean, just for the sake of just making sure that both of us that have been nominated have an opportunity, I think that would be appropriate just for our fellow commissioners and maybe for the public too. I think my experience as somebody who works as a physical therapist, the built community is a significant opportunity for a community to be forward thinking, and the staff that we have in place right now and the leadership that we have on our city council and the growth of our city, and maybe not necessarily in pure numbers as we just saw, but present enormous numbers of opportunities right now, and maybe a few pitfalls, but I think trying to make sure that we preserve property rights, but also look for opportunities to promote the very best development that we can. And by best, not necessarily the most expensive, but projects that are going to be additive to our community and not racing towards the lowest common denominator. I value innovation, and I don't believe in looking towards trying to overregulate, but I sure like to see people's best work coming into Cottonwood Heights. And although I love to bike, I don't know that everybody does. But I also know that more of us are getting out of our cars and looking for reasons to get out of our cars. And where we are the gateway to the canyons, I'm concerned that we have more and more people getting interested in going up to the canyon, and they come right through our city. And there are a lot of implications for that. We look at short-term rentals, and we look at how built out our city is. And we have just a couple of little places that we have that are not built out. And I think it's critical that as we look for how we can shape that a little bit, and some of the things that staff have come up with, the discussions about form-based code, I think there's some really innovative solutions. And I'd love to see us be on the leading edge and not just be reactionary. And I'm looking to stand on the shoulders of those in the city staff and volunteers to do things a little better than they've done, but learning from the lessons of the past and seeing how we can stretch in the future. So I really appreciate that question. So go ahead, Lucy.
Thank you. I've lived in Cottonwood Heights for 25 years. I bought my home in 1998. And I love it here. And I feel strongly about that. What we do as a planning commission is critical to ensuring Cottonwood Heights does remain the fabulous place it is to live, and that we grow smartly. And that could mean any number of things. I will totally support what Dan said about staff, is that what they do and what they prepare for us and help us to be successful, but also allowing, we have the freedom, I guess you can say, to be able to have our own opinions but follow what we are given in terms of regulations. So I'm not a an architect or an engineer. I worked in corporate America for a lot of years. And, but I think that that's being a member of this community, which is what we have, is a community here in Cottonwood Heights, and I value that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. Other comments or discussion? Are we ready for the question? Okay, I'm seeing heads nodding. Let's see, rather than just we probably should take this to an individual vote. I think we had a second, Commissioner Chapel seconded. Thanks for checking. No, that's fine. I'd rather us check it twice than not at all. Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ebler,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Chapel. Commissioner Chapel may have stepped away for a moment. Commissioner Steinman. Yes.
This is Commissioner Chapel. Sorry about that. Yes.
Commissioner Mills is a yes as well. So we are unanimous, and I appreciate the support and look forward to serving with you all in this coming year. And again, gratitude for staff. And we just have one more item of business, and that's one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Quick reminder, this is our 2-meeting month, so we'll do this again in 2 weeks, the 19th.
Mike, do we know what's on the agenda or potentially what's on the?
Yeah, we're introducing form-based code in the work session, and I believe there will be a rezone application for the business meeting.
Okay, thanks.